It's time for All Things Rangers Bar Talk. This is where we have our confidence gauged by what we need to drink. Do we need a shot? We're going to just have a beer and chill, or are we just buying everybody around? This is a game we hope it'll take America by storm. Oh, sorry, what, Joe?
I said I like the name Bar Talk. It's simple. It's effective and to the point. I like it.
Now I got the name down. It only took a month. All right, so we're going to start with Mr. John Fikowski and I almost called him Anthony Quinn. Jesus. David Quinn. Yeah. David Quinn made the right decisions in net and with the lines this weekend.
I'm going to say beer. I like I said, I like seeing the kids get the minutes. And they've played well over the last however many games. And they deserve it. They really do. Lafreniere looks like he's more engaged, playing less timid. The stuff that Julian Gauthier said about David Quinn absolutely is held true. If he just loosens up the reins a little bit, like it seems he has, because they're going out there, they're playing assertive, and they're trying to make plays, and it looks like they're less worried about making mistakes, you're going to get results out of them. And they're going to develop, and you can play them big minutes in important spots, and they gain your trust. So, yeah, I'm going to say beer. I don't know if I wouldn't have started Georgiev the second game in a row against the Islanders, because it wasn't a back-to-back, like on Friday, Saturday. If it was Friday, Saturday, I would have definitely said, okay, Shesterkin, definitely the second day. But Georgiev's numbers are just so good, like the Islanders. So we'll start calling him Alexander Brodeur when it comes to his games against the Islanders, like Anthony said. So, yeah, I probably would have went with Georgiev there. That's the only thing that prevents me from saying buy everybody around. So I'm going to say beer.
I would actually rather call him Alexander Hasek when it comes to the New York Islanders.
That one a lot.
Alexander, yes, because after all, his sister-in-law is probably safe around Dominic Hasek.
Burn.
Anthony, you go.
John stole the words right out of my mouth. Beer, and it's because of the goaltending choice. He said it perfectly. Look, if it was a back-to-back, yeah, sure, go start Shesterkin. I get he's your number one, but when you have a guy like Georgiev who's playing as well as he is against the Islanders, and it's not coming off a back-to-back, he just beat them 4-1. Why not play him again? I mean, I just
confidence up.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Again, I know I just said it, but if it was a back-to-back, I understand starting Shesterkin. It wasn't. Georgiev's coming off a good win. His career numbers against the Islanders are outstanding. Why not just start him again? You know, you look at earlier in the year, the Islanders' first game of the season, the Islanders beat the Rangers. They were all over them. They came back the second game. That's the game that Varlamov got hurt like before the game. But Georgiev played that game, and he won. Every time he plays the Islanders, he's fantastic. So, beer because of his goaltending choice.
I am the harshest critic possibly now, eclipsing Mr. Filkowski, but I'm buying everybody around because, look, if you want to say that the decision was that they should have played Georgiev sooner, then it's going to go down to a beer. But I got to go with this weekend. And Georgiev was a perfect fit for the Islanders, and then you go right back to Shesterkin because that's your number one goaltender. He moved around Vitaly Kravtsov with different units. Getting him an assist on the Brendan Smith goal on Sunday night. They looked great. They looked energized when they didn't start out flat. So I gotta go with buying everybody around right here because it's, you know, I want to see more of that. That's what made me like David Quinn last year. I want to and having some confidence in his team.
Marc is officially softer than the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I'm ready to criticize him again. Oh boy. Well, if I'm any softer, you can call me Taylor Hall. So, Igor Shesterkin is going to get more Calder votes than Ilya Sorokin. Anthony.
This is tough. You know, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go beer. I think a lot. I know the writers will know who's eligible or not, but just in general, I think because of Shesterkin arriving like last year and how well he did, I don't think many people realize that he still qualifies to win the Calder. And also, let me start off by saying I don't think any of them. Votes is one thing, but I don't think any of them are going to be a finalist. I think it's Kaprizov running away with it. I think Jason Robertson, 29 points in 36 games with Dallas, and I also think Ty Smith is going to be the third finalist in New Jersey. I mean, he's over 20 points already, a defenseman. A bad team, he's still playing good. So I think those would be the top three. The votes, I don't know. It really is tough. I think right now they both, Shesterkin and Sorokin, have 11 wins. Sorokin has less losses, but he's played less. He's the more fresher topic because he's brand new, so I think that may be in more people's heads. So yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be really close. I personally think whoever has the more votes, I think it'll be only like a couple, like 2, 3. I don't think it's gonna be a vast difference. And then two, if you look at it, the Islanders are a better team. I know when it comes to the Calder Trophy, that really shouldn't matter. Like Brian Berard won the trophy when the Islanders were terrible. So, but just another thing there that could go in the Islanders direction. Why you look confused, Mark?
Okay, just because the Islanders were only, I think, 3 points out of a playoff spot when Brian Berard won, and he was one of the reasons why they challenged for the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's why you said the word terrible. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, back it up.
They weren't that bad yet. That was still Ziggy Palffy and Robert Reichels.
You're right. It was so painful. I just associate that whole time period as just being dark for me. So
sadly, that was the year the Islanders made an excellent trade deadline acquisition in getting Robert Reichel, making that that trio of Palffy, Smolinski, and Reichel, and they were one of the best lines in the NHL after that.
That was a good line. You're right. Reichel had good chemistry with Palffy.
Ranger fans pumping up the Islander fan right
now.
But no, to go back, I think I can't go shot. I can't go by one around because I just think it's going to be so close, and I'm not sure. I think Sorokin could get more votes than him just because of everything I had stated. So I don't know. That's really a toss up for me.
I mean, it's like I kind of want to say round, but again, I don't think it's really going to matter because I don't think either of them are going to finish top 5 in Calder voting. Maybe Shesterkin has a chance at it. I mean, but I highly doubt it. I think he's going to get a significant more amount of votes, but not a drastic amount due to the fact that he's actually a starter and Sorokin is a backup. So that's really the thing for me. Shesterkin has played more games by a fair amount. And I think that's probably why he will get more votes. But I don't really think it matters in the grand scheme of things because I don't think either of them are coming close to the top of the voting. I think Anthony's top 3 are probably the most accurate I can think of. I mean, Robertson is really an unsung hero in Dallas. And they're missing guys like Sagan, Radulov, Bishop. They would be an even better team. They'd probably be challenging to be one of the best teams in the league right now if those guys were there. And Ty Smith has blown my doors off. He's been really, really, really good. And he's probably, on the majority of NHL teams, he's probably at least a number 3 or better. Maybe not on a championship contender, but he's a 3 or better right now on most teams in the NHL. So, yeah, that's probably my top 3. And Kaprizov's obviously going to run away with it, so.
Sadly, I'm going to say just a beer too. I'd love it to be 100% accurate. I just don't know. Neither one of these might be the top-rated goaltender, depending on. I forgot. I can't believe I forgot the guy's name in Chicago at the moment. No.
Lankinen.
Lankinen. I almost called him Markkinen. I knew it was Kevin because, of course, you think about Finnish, you always think about this guy's name as Kevin, and it's just. It might come down to them. Shesterkin can still finish strong. Shesterkin's got over a .930 save percentage over his last 15 starts. Like he was subpar in his first 8, I think it was like below 9.
8 percentage on the year in general. He's one of the top 10 in the league in save percentage, which is really good considering this team has been so inconsistent.
924.
That's
Thank you.
really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. And he's like I said,
Best years.
yeah. So I think Shesterkin actually could find himself. I say this with hesitancy and also because I predicted that he was going to be in there, but he could end up being a finalist. It's still Kaprizov's award to win, and Robertson's really good. And Ty Smith, I got him on fantasy. He's been real good. Skaters usually end up winning the Rookie of the Year anyway over rookies. Over goalies, I mean.
Word.
Yes. Barry Trotz made all the right decisions this week with line combinations. Anthony.
No, I'm gonna say buy everyone around on that one because he did not. He had Leo Komarov on the top line for a while.
It's shot the other way.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Give me a shot there. Yeah, Leo Komarov on the top line. Again, I get the premise about it in the sense of, he's trying to put someone like Lee in the terms who plays like a heavy game, who's hard to move, that and board corner work along the wall. But Leo Komarov on the top line wasn't a sustainable option. I think anyone and their mother could have told you that. It's just baffling. And then thankfully in that second game against the Rangers, he's out of the lineup. Wallstrom came in, and then he moved Zajac to the top line, which again, Zajak's good play, but he shouldn't be. You got a goal scorer on Kyle Palmieri. That's what you got him for. Put Kyle Palmieri on a line with Barzal and Eberle. But so that's what I would do. But again, I think he's putting Zajac there because he wants that, that more physical, bigger body presence to try to replicate what Anders Lee does. But newsflash, no one's replicating what Anders Lee does. He's a special kind of player in that regard. That bring that sort of combination of size and hands around the net. Not many people, like Matt Martin's a big body. Yeah, you could put him there, but he doesn't have the hands that Anders Lee does. So, I mean, I listen. I know the fans can't complain really because Trotz, we're thankful to have him. But in this regard, I think he's trying to get too cute with trying to replace Lee. You might as well just put the best player you can on that top line.
I don't know what I can really say because Anthony literally just said everything that was on my mind. I will say this, that Barry Trotz had his WTF moments and proved that he's not above reproach there, I guess. I don't know what really else to say, but you cannot have Leo Komarov playing on your top line. And Travis Zajac, you got him to be you're a bottom six center, a third line guy. Why are you playing him on wing? And why are you putting him on the top line, Barry? Like, you're a Hall of Fame guy. I obviously could never say this to his face because he'd probably just laugh. But, I mean, I just don't know what the logic is there. So, yeah, shot for this one.
I'm going to go shot too. I think he's trying to figure out exactly what he's got going. He's going with veteran lineups right now because he sat Wallstrom, I think, versus Philadelphia, but not against the Rangers.
No, he didn't play the first game against the Rangers.
He didn't play the first game against the Rangers.
Yeah.
I like the situation of what could possibly be with the Islanders, but and coaches are always they're gonna go with veterans first. But you can't sit a guy that's got 10 goals on the season. Come on, and is one of your top prospects. Work with them, get him through. And, of course, Uncle Leo being on there. Sorry, pass. That's a hard pass. Actually, here's a great question for John or you, Anthony. Who would you rather have on the ice, Uncle Leo or Brett Howden?
I would say Uncle Leo just because he is smart. He doesn't have the tools anymore to necessarily do what he wants to do, but he is a smart player. He just doesn't have the skill set or speed anymore to do what he wants to do.
You're really asking me this question of all people?
Yes.
What my answer is going to be? It's Uncle Leo all day. Because Mr. Cardio, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna find a picture, we're gonna find the GIF of Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, and Bobby Heenan, where they're walking down the aisle to the ring, and Mr. Perfect does the towel flip to Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan grabs the towel in the air, and we're going to put Bret Howden's face on Mr. Perfect because he's Mr. Cardio, and we're going to put David Quinn's face on Bobby Heenan because teachers back. Because that's all Bret Howden does is literally laps of cardio. If you see the analytics, they're bad. I'll take Uncle Leo because Uncle Leo still has smarts. Bret Howden, no smarts, no skills, doesn't belong at the NHL level. I mean, neither does really Uncle Leo at this point, but at least Uncle Leo's smart and will actually hit people the right way.
I will say this to conclude my answer, and I think I said shot. I forgot. The Barry Trotz has forgotten more about hockey than I'll ever know, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. David Quinn, sorry, but Ilya Sorokin's numbers are deceptive.
To a point, they are. So I'm going to say Beer. He only has 3 wins now against teams above 500.
It's Pittsburgh, 2 against Philly, and now the Rangers in overtime.
Well, he has 4 wins against Philly.
He's got 4 wins against Philly?
Yeah.
Really? Oh. Okay. He's only beaten 3. I thought Varlamov was the other 2. I'm sorry.
If we're being technical, then yeah. But I mean, is Philly really that good of a team? They're I don't even know if they deserve to be an above 500 team. But I still think the numbers are deceptive. And yeah, he should be handled the way that he's being handled. Barry Trotz is doing it right, and I will absolutely give him 110% credit for handling him the right way. But I mean, I know Anthony is literally just chomping at the bit to,
I know, but
disagree.
I'm going to delay him. I'm going to delay him one more second.
Face, but I mean, it's the way he should be handled. Barry Trotz is doing it right. Again, he knows more about hockey than I will ever know. So he could literally forget. He could have an amnesia attack and still forget more about hockey than I probably will ever know. But I got to say they're a little deceptive. I definitely want to see him against more competitors and see how he does. But that's probably going to come in the future, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and again, we want to preface this by saying we do think Ilya Sorokin is a good goalie, so don't get so enraged. But it's that we're also looking at his body of work this season, and it's when your majority of your games were played against the Devils and the Sabres, and you're not really. I mean, he got a 2-0 shutout against Pittsburgh, so good for him on that. But you're also playing in a defensive system, so that's another thing that we're going to criticize with that. As opposed, the Rangers aren't there yet. So Shesterkin is definitely in a system that is a shooting gallery compared to him. But again, we see the promise. We see that this guy's going to be there. But also on the other hand, he's not going for the Vezina this year. He's a rookie. It's okay to handle him with kid gloves. And it's okay to start him against the Buffalo Sabres more than you start him against the Boston Bruins.
Just don't be goalie Skapski, that's all.
Yeah, don't be Mackenzie Skapski. That's it. All right, Anthony, make your case.
I
guess it would be shot for you.
I'm going to say shot, of course. The one thing I think it's important to really think of when you think of Ilya Sorokin is if you look at, and not just Russian goalies, this could be for any highly touted goalie that comes along, but he came along at a time where there's a pandemic. His KHL season shut down last March. He didn't play for 10 months until he made that start against the Rangers at the Garden. And in between then, unlike goalies, like Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, Carter Hart, guys who came before him, they have normal training camps where they come to North America, they get acclimated to life. Then they have preseason games. Sorokin stops doing everything, comes to the bubble, not allowed to play. He's just in the bubble. And then he has a truncated training camp where he doesn't get to see like NHL teams have exhibition games. And then, he's thrown into his first start 10 minutes before he has to play. He doesn't even expecting it. So he hasn't had the normal type of hockey entrance into the NHL a lot of goalies had. And to still produce the numbers that he's done, even against bad teams, I think just goes to show his skill. He's incredibly gifted. He's athletic, and I think Mitch Korn is going to fine-tune the other areas of the game in terms of like angles and positioning, getting used to the bigger ice. But I can't understate enough how important it is for guys to come over to get that AHL time where the results don't really matter. Let's face it, it's the minor leagues, and they could adjust to the size, the difference in the rink, and the angles and all that. He never had that opportunity, and he's still come and posted 11-3-1 record. And yeah, even though teams like the Flyers are bad per se, they still have a lot of offensive talent. Guys like Giroux, Voracek, Couturier, they can hurt you. So even though they're a bad team standing wise, they still have offensive players that can torch a goalie. And Sorokin has stood tall and answered the bell when he's called upon. So, would it be different if he was, playing the Capitals and the Bruins every game and having these numbers? Of course, but I just think it just goes to show the skill that he has. And I know when he's been compared to his good friend Shesterkin, and for me, like, I don't engage in conversations like who's going to be the better goalie. I think it's like saying, what do you like better, tacos or pizza? I think they're both going to be outstanding goalies who will probably both each win a Vezina one day, and the sky's the limit for the both of them. But like John said, and you said too, it is important to handle kid gloves, especially by a Lou-run team. Lou takes young guys on very, very slowly. So I'm not surprised that he's getting starts against teams like he is, like Buffalo and New Jersey, and giving Varlamov the tougher assignments. But he's going to play against the Bruins, I would say, either today or tomorrow, and we'll see how he does against Boston. But I think every Islander fan could finally breathe and say we finally have our goalie of the future. So I'm excited to see how he does going down the pipe here.
Also, your goalie of the present's pretty good too.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like those conversations either. I think they're stupid, and you get into pissing matches over something you're really not going to get the answer to for a long time. Like I said, I don't think he's a bad goalie. I think he's actually a very good goalie. I think he will be a very good goalie. I think the Rangers are going to have their problems with him probably for a long time. But you know what? They're handling him the way they should handle him. It's the exact way they should do it. And who are we to say any differently? But I do think the numbers overall to the point are a little deceptive. That's the only thing. But he's coming along nicely.
Well, also, just before I close this out, you could also start your rookie Russian goaltender against the highest scoring offensive team in the league, sort of how Igor Shesterkin came into the league last year. Hi, Colorado Avalanche. I don't mind playing against you. Oh, look, first two shots went in the net. The fact that kid still won that game is amazing.
No, I'm sorry, not the first one. The second one, Brady Shea with turnover along the boards led to that one.
Yeah, that was the Nate McKinnon one. I was actually at that game. So.
Yeah.
That was cool. All right, guys. The
one thing else, just to close out, I do think the Islanders have a decision to make. Varlamov has 2 years left on his contract after this, and at some point he's making $5 million a year. If going down the stretch here, say Varlamov gets hurt for whatever reason, and Sorokin is the guy going forward, and he proves himself, or even if he doesn't, and he just continues to get better every time he plays, the Islanders have a decision to make. Well, if you want to save cap, you try to move Varlamov, save him $5 million. And then Sorokin's your guy going forward. But I think eventually that decision is going to have to come.
Did you like that video? Of course you did. So why not check out some more of our content? You can check the playlist right here or right here.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.